Good morning everyone, my name is James Purser and I'll be giving a presentation on high-speed broadband and online collaboration. Before I go on, I would like to extend my thanks to Senator Kate Lundy and to Pia Waugh for offering me this opportunity to speak to you about this subject, and I hope this is the first of many public sphere discussions. Australia today is standing at a crossroads. For the past 10 years, technology has advanced at a pace that has far outstripped our capacity to support it. However, with the recent announcement of the National Broadband Network and the target rate of 100 megabits per second, we now have the opportunity to make up that shortfall. In the process, we're going to be looking at things a little differently. We're going to be re-examining how our family life, our work life, and our interaction with the wider community works together. We're going to be looking at how we work and play. That's going to be changing as well. And most of all, we're going to be looking at the technologies that we've missed out on because of our lack of capacity, and we're going to be saying we can make them work for us now. Human beings have collaborated since the first days that we got down from the trees. One proto-human looked out for the leopard while the other proto-human went looking for fruit to eat. And we've done it ever since. It's how we've succeeded as a species and become the dominant player on this planet, for better or for worse. Now, the way I look at it, since the explosion, the internet is to collaboration like the Gutenberg Bible was to literacy. When they started printing books like the Gutenberg Bible, literacy exploded across Europe. When the internet came along, people discovered a whole new way to collaborate with each other. All of a sudden they could work with people in other countries without having to travel there. High-speed broadband, on the other hand, means that this collaboration can be taken to a whole new level. This is how the world is going to change, and I honestly believe it will. As part of this presentation, we're going to have a look at how some of this high-speed broadband powered collaboration is going to affect everyday Australians. And I think nothing else is going to change more than your office, how you work. For a start, the virtual office is going to become a reality for an increasing number of people. As we get higher speeds and access to better tools and better technologies, people are going to realise that they can work from home and have a better family life and a better social life without having to sacrifice their ability to be productive and provide the best job they can for their employers. As part of this, the company intranet will become the company extranet. The high-speed broadband will allow a whole range of services to be built into your company's extranet that will allow for this better collaboration to happen while people are still in their lounge rooms or working in their home offices. The traditional office is going to change permanently. It's going to become more of a social centre. You're going to have a lot more people working from home and coming into the office maybe 1 or 2 days a week. That way people are going to be able to connect more when they come into the office. It'll be more of a social experience rather than just being a work experience. Just before I move on, I'd like to discuss something which I think is going to be very interesting. The unintentional side effect of the rise of the extranet. I think it's going to lead to potentially a sort of population boom in regional Australia. As people realise that they can actually do telecommuting or remote work, they're going to realise that they don't have to move away from these sort of country areas or regional centres to get their work. Instead, they can do their work, they can do their job and still stay in the region that they want to stay in. So this is going to change demographics. This is going to mean that instead of everybody flocking to the city, we're going to see people staying where they are, which is going to affect the need for services and so on and so forth. I may be wrong, but it will be an interesting thing to watch. Next up, I want to have a look at that somewhat maligned collaboration tool, the video conference. Now, part of the reason why I'm making this video rather than presenting to you live via Skype or something else like DimDim is because at the moment we can't really rely on the infrastructure to support it. However, with high-speed broadband, you're going to find that the special facilities that the universities have are no longer going to be required because we're going to have access to technology, which means that we can actually have that in our homes or in our offices. And so we're going to find that high-quality video conferencing that is going to become the norm. We're going to find that mobile participants are going to be able to take, PDAs, new mobile phones, they'll all be able to become participants, active participants in a video conference. Or we could even see holographics come into play, and that's not so far-fetched. With 100 megabits per second, that's a lot of information you can pump down the pipe. So video conferencing could potentially, in a few years' time, become 3D conferencing. Now that's something to contemplate. The thing that really excites me about high-speed broadband and collaboration is the idea of collaborative spaces. You're not just taking one technology or one tool, you're actually combining them to create something which is greater than the sum of its parts. I mean, let's take an interior designer for example. They need to be able to demonstrate their designs to their clients without having to actually build them. I mean, so they want to go from models to being able to let their clients experience their designs. They need to be able to conference with both their suppliers and their clients to work out the best prices and everything else. They also use a wiki for collaborative product development or something like that, or even the mundane stuff like policy development, OH&S. All of this stuff can be stored on their wiki/knowledge base, and it's all this one whole service built out of these little tools, which can all be brought together thanks to the power of high-speed broadband. For me, high-speed broadband offers so many opportunities in order to improve on the current technologies and make them actually useful. One of those technologies that I think has been underdeveloped because of this lack of access to true high-speed broadband has been the virtual world. Now, we all know about Second Life, and it went through quite a boom at the time when it was launched, and everybody jumped in and made their own islands and all the rest of it. But to be honest, it's not really that fantastic because there's still that disconnect. For a virtual world to actually work, people need to be immersed in it. Sitting at the keyboard and playing with the mouse and all the rest of it still has that disconnect between you and that world. In order to make that virtual world work for you in a collaborative sense, people need to be immersed in it, whether that's sensory gloves, sensory glasses, whatever. But these sort of technologies require high-speed broadband. You need large data pipes to be bringing that information backwards and forwards between you and the service. So that's what I'm really looking forward to seeing. And it's, as I mentioned before, it's the interior designer showing her clients around a design that she's done for them. Or it's the council showing its constituents what a change or what a development will look like. And people will be able to examine it at all angles. And I'm really looking forward to seeing that sort of service built up. Okay, well that's enough rambling from me. I'm just going to sum up by saying this. High-speed broadband offers us a whole new world. It really does. From medical to collaborative to broadcast to media, it's really a whole new world out there, and we need to be able to step forward and grasp the opportunities. However, when we do this, we need to be able to do it in a way that is guided by common sense. We don't want to say, okay, let's put down 100 megabits per second, let's put down all this fiber, and then stomp on it. We don't want to say you can only do this, that, and the other, and you end up reducing the effectiveness of this new network by making it essentially the same as what we have now. And you need the political will to strike out in new directions. Recognise that Australia is not just about the sheep's back or the mining industry, but that we have an amazing industry here in terms of its IT, ICT and content development. We need to encourage those industries to grow because we've got some brains here. We need to use them. Thank you very much for listening to me. I look forward to hearing any of your questions, and I will be joining you on Twitter during this broadcast.